Hello friends, welcome to Mushkil Ashan. I'm Joita Shaha, clinical psychologist, and today we are going to discuss how inferiority complex and superiority complex are the two sides of the same coin. When we come across the term inferiority complex, it comes to our mind that these people have feelings of inadequacy, often resulting in extreme shyness, self-isolation, or social submission. They often believe that they are less than others, they are inferior, they are deficient in virtually all aspects from others, and so they are shy and do not come in front of others, do not interact with others, and they live such a life that they cannot be observed by others. They do not want to come to the forefront. For most of us, these feelings of insecurity and insufficiency are highly situational or occasional. When they arise, people generally brood about them for a time and then they move on or deal with them by reminding themselves that they have the strength or use motivation to master the underlying problem. Even when major life crisis happens, like being fired from a job or being dumped by a romantic partner, most of the people find support from their family and friends, and gradually they become more secure, more engaged and productive. But not so for people with inferiority complex. They respond differently. They start calling themselves names. They often lament their shortcomings. They believe that intense criticism that they are doing is reasonable and they deserve it. They often are their worst judges and they cannot love themselves, and their self-esteem is extremely fragile and they keep attacking themselves, and this becomes so vicious that they cannot come out of it, and it has an effect on their life, personal and professional both. And later this becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because since they expect that everything bad is going to happen to them, they are expecting the bad to happen and they stop even trying themselves, and they are discouraged and they become vulnerable. And when the bad thing occurs, they say to themselves, look, I knew this would happen to me. I'm good for nothing, so I would be doing bad anyways, so why try? So they are unable to come out of this vicious cycle and feel sorry for themselves always, and they feel they are lesser than others. This feeling of being less than others often creates a feeling of anxiety in them, and in certain cases it leads to depression too. And it affects their life in all aspects, be it psychological, be it personal, be it professional, and this saga continues. The term inferiority complex and superiority complex was first used by Alfred Adler. Alfred Adler was the proponent of the individual psychotherapy school of psychology. He had told about inferiority complex as that is created in the child during his or her upbringing. Often a child might have an organ inferiority or be having some kind of limitation. It might be physical, it might be psychological, which leads to this feeling of discrimination, which leads to the inferiority complex. For example, if a child has some problem while walking and later his other siblings are doing well in every aspect, this problem, physical problem, leads to a inferiority complex, and it is seen that not only his physical life is disadvantaged due to this, but it has an effect on his psychological life also, and he is doing bad in things which could have been his strength. So inferiority complex is something which is there from either from childhood, that is due to the parenting style, the parents are comparing one child with other, leading to an inferiority complex, or it develops in their adult stages when they perceive themselves to be inferior to someone else. An inferiority complex may cause an individual to overcompensate for their perceived weakness. For some someone who feels inferior because of their short height, they try to overcompensate this by, say, going on a strict diet to become thinner, because they believe that if they look thinner, it won't be apparent that their height is a bit short. So they go on a very strict diet and a very strict regimen of exercise, and for them a slimmer body is everything in life, which can further lead to damage to their psyche. This might later lead to body dysmorphic disorder, or this might later even lead to certain eating disorders. So inferiority complex often might be sometimes responsible for a diagnosis of a clinical disorder. Inferiority complex or superiority complex per se is not a clinical diagnosis. It's not written anywhere in our diagnostic terminologies as a diagnostic term. But inferiority complex might be the reason for a clinical diagnosis. So a person who is inferior regarding his height or her height may go on such a diet regime and exercise regime leading to eating disorders or body dysmorphic disorder. This can lead to further problems in his or her later life. Often we see that some people have this inferiority complex from their birth. This is primary inferiority complex. The classificatory system says there are two kinds of inferiority complex. One is primary and the other is secondary. A primary inferiority feeling is said to be rooted in the young child's original experience of weakness, helplessness, and dependency, where there is also a lack of parental acceptance and affection, or an actual constitutional weakness. Say a child who's visually impaired has this lack of affection from others. He is not being asked to play. Other children are not talking to him, are not including him. They do not know how to mix with him. So there the inferiority complex which is present, that is primary in nature. And the other kind of inferiority complex is secondary inferiority complex, which leads to feelings of an adult's experience of unable to reach a fictional final goal, or of feelings of subjective insecurity, or feelings of unable to meet what he's achieving for or what he's aspiring for. So the difference is basically primary inferiority complex is present in the person due to his upbringing, due to, say, his comparison with other siblings, or due to an organ deficiency which is present in him from his birth. But secondary inferiority complex is something which he perceives himself. It is not an actual thing that is present in him, or no one else is comparing him with anybody, but he perceives himself to be inadequate, and there is no reason for this inadequacy. It is a perception of inadequacy. This is the secondary inferiority complex, and both of them leads to feelings of depression and anxiety in a person. This is one side of the coin, my friends. The other side of the coin is superiority complex. On a discussion with a client of mine was telling me that her sister always says that my client does not look good in Western clothes. Her sister, according to my client, had a very good figure, and she used to flaunt this in Western attire. And there's always been this rivalry between both of them regarding their dressing choice. So on discussing this issue, and she used to feel bad whenever she would wear a Western dress, her sister would make it a point to tell her that you look better in something traditional, wear that. So on discussion, we came to know that her sister had a dark complexion, and she was not very happy with her complexion, and there was always this comparison between the two sisters by the family and friends regarding their complexion. So I suggested to the client that maybe your sister is overcompensating for the dark complexion and in the process hurting you. Since she's got a good figure, she's using this to hurt you regarding the hurt which the society and the family is depicting on her due to her dark complexion. So superiority complex is a compensation or an overcompensation for that inferiority feeling, to hide the feelings of inadequacy when a person assumes that he is some way better and behaves haughtily towards others or behaves disdainfully towards others. In certain cases, mistreats the others. So people with superiority complex may treat others in an imperious, overbearing, and even sometimes aggressive manner. If this becomes too bad in a person, often it can lead to feelings of grandiosity, and in clinical parlance, often when it goes to a psychotic level, we generally address it as delusion of grandiosity. That is the clinical diagnostic portion, but not all people with superiority complex reach a psychotic state and start having delusions of grandiosity. It is not so. Generally, inferiority complex and superiority complex are results of personality traits which are present in certain people, and if it's causing trouble in them, they can work through it by analyzing their feelings and working on it, and if necessary they can take help from the psychologist or clinical psychologist. It's possible to change their thoughts through CBT and also to change it through mindfulness techniques. If they have a check on their feelings, on their thoughts, on their daily behavior, they can truly understand where they go wrong. Because many of my own clients, when they come for the session, they come with one problem, but while dealing with the issues, while talking about it, while going through their thought diary, they themselves start telling me, "Madam, I think I have an inferiority complex somewhere, or I have feelings of inferiority, I think I'm not worth it." So it's not as if like you need professional help to point it out where the trouble region is. Often people are aware of the trouble, and if they try, they can get along with it and seek help if they cannot deal with it themselves. To know about such issues, you have to subscribe to this channel if you have not already done so. We are there every Saturday at 6 p.m. with topics in English for you. Do like the video and share it if you find it useful. Thanks for watching and keep watching.